and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George. Hey, this is your first time here, or you've been here before and haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And thumbs ups, drop your comments, love the comments. You can see I'm smiling. This is not a smile from any kind of pain or just trying to humor my way through some despair. No, this is actual genuine happiness. You know, it didn't look so great for a little while, but the Knicks pulled it out against these pesky Pacers, man. They won tonight at the Garden, 92-84, sparked by the bench once again. But this time, there was a little bit different wrinkle. That's right. The third time was the charm. First time, the Thibs went with the bench. He stuck with them all the way through against the Bucks, but ran out of gas. The next time, the bench got us back into the game, but then he saw that they were running out of some gas. So, what did he do? He brought back in the starters, some of the starters. Didn't work. But this time he did something very interesting. He went small for a little time and took Rose out of the game and let IQ basically run the point. Burks was on the floor at that time, but then he brought he brought Rose back in after he gave him a little breather, and he brought Taj in for Obi, and we finished with the fivesome of Randall, RJ, IQ, Rose, and Taj at the 5. If those four, Randall, RJ, IQ, and Rose, sound familiar to you, it's because you watched my Knicks Fix and Mix video where I proposed going with the backcourt of Rose and IQ, because that's going to be the backcourt that's going to win games for these Knicks for now. I'm not abandoning hope on Kemba and Fournier at all. I know who those guys are. I know what they've been delivering. Don't lose faith in them. They are just struggling in this system defensively. And the inverse issue with that is it's detracting RJ and Randall from doing their thing because they got so used to playing with big guards who defend really hard, like Payton and Bullock. Yes, I'm saying something nice about Payton. But you know what? They got used to. They played all last season with those two guys. They got used to running the defensive scheme that way. Well, that's got to change, and that's going to take time. But we can't wait because every game matters, especially right now. They have to accumulate as many wins as possible. The Knicks won. They finally broke their 2-game losing streak, and now they're 8-6. And man, can I breathe. Can I breathe a sigh of relief? Obi was fantastic. Taj gave huge minutes. The whole team, actually, everybody contributed in a very positive way. However, eventually, the starting unit still had problems. They were outscored. We only got 16 points in the first quarter, which, by the way, the only reason we won because Knicks held the Pacers to 10 points in the fourth quarter, where it matters the most. That's right. 10 points. Only gave up 2 field goals. The Knicks only gave up 2 field goals in the entire fourth quarter. Wrap your head around that. 12 minutes of play. That team only got 2 field goals. Woo! Fantastic. Game flow. Look at that. You can see it. They were battling. They definitely hit a cold spell. Both teams hit a cold spell during that, towards the end of the first quarter, beginning of the second quarter. Not much happening there. And in fact, that's when the Knicks took advantage, took the lead. They actually had the lead for a majority of the second quarter and gave it up toward the end of it. And then third quarter started, and I was really concerned. I was really not concerned. Change that word. I became concerned. I was curious how the team was going to respond coming out of the halftime, because we've seen night in, night out, game after game, we just, whatever has happened in the first half, the first unit just kind of surrenders in those first 6 minutes or so of the second half. And that's exactly what happened tonight. Look at that. We didn't score for a good stretch, and Indiana just took control of this game. They outscored us, but we battled back. The lead at one point, I think they got it to about 12 points at one point, and the Knicks, they hustled back, and we cut the lead. We cut the deficit down to 5 points by the end of the third quarter. And at that point, you know what? I was starting to feel good about this game. I was thinking, you know what? I think we're going to pull it out. There you have it. For a good 4-minute stretch or so, it was a back and forth battle. But then once we took the lead, never gave it back. And a lot of that we have to attribute to Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose was fantastic in this game. But the real hero of the game, the guy, Immanuel Quickley. Oh man, this was such a relief to pull this game out. Let's go to some. First of all, let's check out some more stats. Got some more stats here. So here are the team sets. If you caught my pregame show with Keese on Sports Vibes TV, the one thing I said, what did I want to see? I wanted to see 25 assists from this team. Okay, we didn't get close. We didn't get 25, but we got 22. 22 assists. We won the assists war battle with the Pacers. They had 16. We got 6 more assists, because that indicates to me the ball is moving, and that's what happened. The ball moved around. The ball didn't stick as much this game as it has been, and it finally got guys going. It felt that the team felt connected. They were sharing the ball. However, they only scored 92 points. So it's kind of all right, well, the ball moved, but we still only scored 92 points. That was a problem, and that's mostly was because the three-point shot just wasn't there in the first half at all. But finally, in the second half, they finally started connecting. They ended up taking 34 three-pointers, hit 11 of them. They shot 32.4%, and we held the Pacers to 21.6% from the arc. That fantastic. That's been our Achilles heel. Letting guys go off, having open looks from behind the arc, and just killing us. Not this game. It was a totally different story. Totally different story. And the other thing that I really like to point out is the points in the paint. We won that battle 42-40. Most importantly, not most importantly, because the assist to me is most important. But another really important aspect was the fast break point, 10-0. Knicks had 10 fast break. Look at the largest lead. The Knicks had 8. That's how the game ended. The Knicks ended up with their largest lead at the very end. That's the way. That's the way it should be. Love it. I am very satisfied with this win. I was asked earlier in the pregame, what am I looking for? What if we win? What do I need to see in this win to feel encouraged about it? Well, almost everything that I saw is what I needed to see. Number one was Julius making a concerted effort on both sides of the ball to be engaged and committed to maximum effort, and he did it. He shared the ball, even though he did have a couple of ISO moments, but they weren't, egregious in any way. He played a very, very good, solid game. And number two, I want to see if Kemba could come out with the same kind of offensive intensity that he had in the previous game against Charlotte, and he did. He played a nice game. However, the issues with him defensively are so huge that's why the Knicks ended up falling behind in that first quarter, even though he was the only one scoring. He left that first quarter, he was a -3, and he was the leading scorer in the game. So there is something wrong in terms of the way the first unit plays and executes defense, and hopefully that will evolve. I believe that it will. So it's what I wanted to see was the offense, and we got that finally. Finally. Oh, man. And the rebounds. We won the rebounding battle as well. And almost the offensive rebounds was almost equal, 9-8. So a lot of positive things to pull out of this game, even though I think it was the lowest scoring game of the season for the Knicks combined. Yes, has to be. Randall gave us 11 points. He only shot 5 of 15. Yeah, only shot 5 of 15. Hit only 1 of 3 of his three-pointers, but he got 11 rebounds. He had 5 assists. Very productive in 35 minutes. Fournier, 7 points, shot 3 of 9, only 1 of 4 from behind the arc. In 24 minutes, saved 7 points. But look at Kemba, 16 points, shot 8 of 11. He only took 1 3-pointer, which is curious. I wish he had been able to take a few more. He's an excellent 3-point shooter. That was odd. The downside is Mitch Robinson left the game with a tweaked ankle probably from the last game. And he probably re-aggravated it. Hopefully it's not any lingering. Surprisingly, we were able to make it through without Nerlens or Mitch for the second half, basically, of this game. Thank you, Taj. Thank you, Taj. You played a fantastic second half, man. Yeah, what did Taj give us? He gave us 2 points. That's it. But 8 rebounds, 3 assists for Taj. Taj had 3 assists. Excellent. Now, let's talk about R.J. Barrett. R.J. Barrett played 30 minutes. The first half, I don't think he scored a point in the first half. I'm not 100% on that, but finally woke up. Finally. God, I mean, we needed that. Gave us 12 points. I believe that was all in the second half. Six rebounds. Still only 1 assist, but he hit 3 of 7 from behind 3-point line. So important. He had a huge 3-point bucket which actually sealed the victory at the end of the game. Because the game was still in question. Even though we took the lead, it was still close. I think it was still a 2-point game at the time. So, but look, only shot 4 of 13. So when our big guys, our number 1 and 2 guys, only combine for 9 of 28, you know we're going to have a rough time on the offensive side. But that was made up for by the bench. Immanuel Quickley tied Kemba with the leading scorer for 16 points in 23 minutes, shot 5 of 9 from behind a field goal percentage, but hit all 4 of his 3-pointers. How awesome is that? All 4 of them. Every time he put a shot up, it went through the net. Yes, that's what we want. That's what we have expecting from Immanuel Quickley. I never doubted his shot. I knew his shot was going to come, but more importantly is the way he is playing defense. Get into that when I'm showing you the highlights. Now we got to talk about the guy who changed the actual tonality of the game, Derrick Rose, once again. In his 25 minutes, he hit 50% of his field goals, shot 7 of 14, did not hit any 3-pointers, 0 for 4, and he's been shooting very well from behind the arc all season. Didn't hit any, but he got 5 rebounds and 7 assists, and man, did he have some beautiful dimes tonight. Outstanding. 14 points. Obi Toppin, got to talk about him. His 4 points, they look small, but they were big, big, big points. Loved it. 2 of 5. He did miss his 2 3-point attempts. We really need that to come around. If this team is going to go far, that shot has to come around. I believe it will. I mean, he was able to do it last season. Not towards the end, he started coming on in the playoffs. He shot the 3-point shot well, and in summer league, it was looking beautiful. And even in preseason, so he's just going through a cold spell, and he's lost confidence in it. He passed up an opportunity in the first half, then he finally took some in the second half. They just didn't go down. But I expect that will change just the way IQ shot came. Yes, I believe in Obi Toppin. But look at this thing here. Let's look, which is over. I want to show you the plus minus. Plus minus, once again, pretty. Look at that. Mitch, minus 14. Kemba, minus 15. Fournier, minus 10. Now, Randall and Barrett were only a -2 and a -1 because they were on the court in the fourth quarter with IQ and Rose when the team turned it around. So they got the benefit from that in the plus-minus department. But look at the plus-minus of Taj Gibson, the leader on this team for tonight. 22. That really does. It felt like a plus 22 for Taj. Even he only gave us 2 points. Toppin, plus 10. Rose, plus 21. Burks, plus 9. Immanuel Quickley. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's what I like to see. So, Sabonis got 21 points. He shot well, 8 of 15, 3 of 4 from behind the arc, 15 rebounds. He played an outstanding game like he always does, but we were able to neutralize him to a certain degree. 21 points for a player like that, I always count that as a victory. Brogdon, 22 points. He did hurt us a little bit. His size, the way he was able to drive to the basket, it did hurt us a bit, which is why Kemba didn't really see any time in the fourth quarter. That tells that story. LeVert was 17, but only shot 5 of 14. Finally, RJ and I believe Burks had his assignment. They were finally able to disrupt his shot. But the most important thing on this is look at Miles Turner. Guy freaked out. He went off on us in the first matchup with this team, and that's why they won, because he had a career night. Well, tonight he had a career low. No, it's not a career low, but 0 would be low. But only got 3 points tonight. 32 minutes, 1 of 4. He didn't shoot any. He made no field goal attempts within the 3-point line. For a center, I find that odd. And he only had 3 rebounds in 32 minutes. So that's why the Knicks. No, 92-84. Yes, yes, I love it. I love this. All right, but can't get too happy because it's not like we blew them out. It's not like we just took this lead right away and never gave it back. But the Pacers are a good team. Again, they are a team that is better than their record. So don't be fooled by their record. They are a better team than their record. Now I want to talk about last 7 games. The last 7 games, we'll go to the highlights and we'll talk about the last 7. So in the last 7 games, all right, here we go. Here's some juicy stats for you. Immanuel Quickley, Derrick Rose. Immanuel Quickley has been averaging about 20 points a game, 19.9 points a game. He's averaging 11.1 points per game in those 20. His field goal percentage is 47.3%. His 3-point field goal percentage is 53.6% now in the last 7 games. That's more. Wait, that's half the season. That's half the season. The last half of the season is average 53.6% on the line. His plus minus is a 9.0 plus minus. Only behind Derrick Rose on his team with 9.3 plus minus. Now, Derrick Rose has been the leader in plus minus in total plus minus for the NBA for a while now. I mean, he might have dropped in the past few games or whatever while he was number 1, and in plus minus per game he was 4th for a long stretch. That just tells you how effective IQ has been while he's been on the court. His offensive rating is a 118.0. His defensive rating, get ready for this number, 97.1. That's a good 10 points below the average. His net rating is a 20.8 to lead this team. His field goal percentage is 60.9%, almost 61%. His effective field goal percentage. Derrick Rose in the past 7 games is averaging 24.5 minutes a game. He's averaging 14.7 points per game. We're second on this team behind Julius Randle. So Derrick Rose has been the second leading scorer on this team past 7 games behind Randle. He's shooting 50% from the field. 50% from the field. His three-point shot has tapered off a little bit, but he's still shooting a robust 38.5%. And his, like I've said before, his plus minus is a 9 point. Fantastic. His offensive rating, 114.5. Not quite as outlandish as Quickley's 118, but a 114.5 is excellent. Especially, now get ready for this. Get ready for this defensive rating number. Now, this is per 100 possessions. A game has about an average of 100 possessions. So here you go. Ready? 95.4. 95.4 defensive rating for a net rating of 19.1. A little bit below Quickley's because the offensive rating isn't as high, but his defensive rating is better than Quickley. His effective field goal percentage, 55.8%. So that tandem, that duo of guards, has to get the majority of minutes on this team for now until Kemba and Fournier figure it out. That just has to happen. You have to make that move, Thibs. I mean, you did it tonight. You did it tonight. You even went small for a little while, which I was really impressed, and I really liked that. And then you brought Taj in just at the right time. I thought your rotations in the second half were pretty outstanding. The first half, I think you waited until the last minute and 30 seconds to bring IQ in. So that one I did have a problem with. Or was it in the second half? I think it was in the second half. I can't remember exactly. But I think it was because you were trying to make sure that RJ was able to continue on his role that he was on. Yeah, it was the second half. So, but in the end, it all worked out. So there you have it. See, there's a lot of things happening. Thibs has got to juggle a lot of things because he also has his budding superstar, RJ Barrett, who's in a terrible funk right now, and has to figure out a way to get him going. So when he finally saw some life from him with his three-point shot, he had an awesome dunk that he said, okay, you know what, let me ride that hand. And he rode it, and he meshed those four guys together, and then he added Taj. This team only allowed 10 points in the fourth quarter, but we only scored 23. So we only scored 23 in the fourth, 21 in the third. Our best quarter was the second quarter, 32 points. First quarter, that's why we ended up with such. I mean, most nights you score 92 points, it's a loss. But when you play defense like these guys did tonight, victory. Love it. I love it. This was an awesome victory. Awesome victory. Should have gone to the highlights earlier because I'm done with the recap. But the highlights are still going. This was that was it. We took the lead there. Yeah, I'll just narrate these for now. This was a humongous bucket, right? They gave us a little cushion. Look at that, with 4 or something left. Oh yeah, here we go. Look at that dime. That was the pass I was talking about. The Rose did. It was just gorgeous. Outstanding. He's always got his eyes up. He's always looking for the better opportunity. Oh man. And then that little right-handed floater that's basically sealed the deal. Here we go. Here's a replay of. Yes. Look at Randall. Randall defers to Rose. That's one thing I don't mean defer he's not passive. He trusts. That's more of the word. That's the big 3. Once RJ hit that, he trusts Rose. He trusts RJ. He's trying to trust Fournier and Kemba, and we're seeing it, which is why Kemba is delivering some points offensively, but defensively. All right, well, thank you so much for watching this. And if you haven't looked at Knicks Fixing the Mix, must watch that video, because you will see everything that I've been talking about in terms of why Rose and IQ have to stay together, play together with the first unit. Well, thank you so much for watching this. Thumbs ups, subscribe, drop your comments. Definitely want the comments. And I will see you guys around the Knicks-Verse.